Part 47. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Shui. Chapter 461. Compared to other places that were only visited in the first 5 days, this place is undoubtedly the most interesting. A dark horse from an ordinary galaxy wants to fight alone in 2 of the top 10 galaxies. What a sight, an explosion. And with everyone's attention at the scene, Lu Yu took action. 50%. Lu Yu stretched out one of his hands. In the distance, Daoshin and Hanyi sneered when they saw this. Are you 50% sure that you can keep a whole body? Daoshin's words were sarcastic. Hanya laughed. Don't worry, we will keep your body intact. At least you have to bury it decently, ha ha ha. The laughter between the two made Lu Yu shake his head. No, 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 I said, only use 50% of your strength. After the words fell, the next moment, the aura in Lu Yu's body suddenly began to rise. The golden energy and blood are boiling, as if the abyss is overflowing. The aura is growing, the whole body seems to be illuminated by golden light, and even the hair is crystal clear. Lu Yu's figure was suspended out of thin air, and a vast aura seemed to superimpose on Lu Yu's body through the void. The moment he opened his eyes again, Lu Yu's eyes shone with golden light, as if there were thunder and lightning swimming in them. Up close, it seemed like a sea of stars was rising and falling, and stars were extinguishing. This. Everyone was frightened by the scene, even Daoshin and Lanye's expressions changed drastically. This guy's aura, why has it changed so much? This kind of pressure is too terrifying. Humph. Pretending to be a ghost. Daoshin snorted coldly and punched Lu Yu in an instant. Seeing this, Lu Yu's eyes were restrained and he shook his head. It's over. After he finished speaking, he casually punched Daoshin. Boom. Lu Yu punched, but before he could get close to Daoshin, golden energy and blood had already condensed into a giant fist in front of him. Feeling the almost destructive power in the giant fist, Daoshin's expression changed drastically in an instant. This is impossible. Before he could finish his words, in an instant, the whole vomited blood flew out. A scalp-numbing sound of bone cracking could be heard throughout the body. Boom. Daoshin hit the ground hard. On the ground, a large crater with a diameter of hundreds of meters appeared. Daoshin was lying in it, his eyes widened, his body lying in a strange posture, and his breathing was intermittent. You. Before he finished speaking, Daoshin's whole body suddenly went limp, his eyes turned gray and his breathing stopped. Dead. I don't know how many people were stunned when they saw this scene. Dead. Is this dead? Impossible, Lanye said first. How is this possible? Dao Tianke made a move. No. He was killed by Lu Yu with one punch without even making a single move. What a fantasy. Lanye was shocked to the extreme. Not only Lanye was shocked, but all the geniuses behind him were stunned to the point of being stunned. Even the people on Lu Yu's side didn't react for a while. Come on, come and fight with me. At this moment, Lu Yu looked at Lanye. You. Even though Lanye's reaction was slow, he came back to his senses at this moment. He glanced at Daoshin, who was lying on the ground lifeless, and then at Lu Yu, who was surrounded by golden light and looked like a god. Without any hesitation, turn around and run. Weird. So weird. Daoshin's strength is even a little stronger than himself. He was actually killed by one move. Was he defeated by one move? Even though Lanye couldn't believe it, the fact was here. If you don't run away, you will die too. Call out. Lanye turned into a streak of light and shadow and escaped instantly. But, how could Lu Yu give him a chance to escape? Since you have decided to kill him, there is no need to keep him. Extraordinary superpower, Ning Kong. The power was activated, and Lanya was instantly frozen in the air, unable to move. This. Lanya was confused. Space power? Can you still freeze yourself directly? At least extraordinary level. The next moment, what shocked him even more. Lu Yu took one step forward, and the next moment he appeared next to him. Don't want. Lanya's eyes widened, but he couldn't make a sound. Seeing this, Lu Yu stepped down directly. Saint-level superpower, step on the star. The next moment, the entire space where Lanya was frozen was shattering like glass. And Lanya's whole body was torn apart together with the broken space. After a while, the space healed. However, Lanya's body was already shapeless. Everyone looked at the scene with shock to the extreme. Dead. Are both of them dead? From the beginning to the end, Lu Yu only made 2 moves. Chang Li's eyes when looking at Lu Yu were dull. Cherry's little mouth opened slightly, unable to react for a moment. How did he do it? Daoshin's strength is at least among the top 10. Even infinitely close to the top 5. Was he killed instantly by one move? Lanya too. Outside, the city in the sky was equally shaken. Crazy. So crazy. Killed instantly with 2 moves. What kind of strength does this Lu Yu have? Something's wrong. When he fought against Long Xin before, he clearly didn't show such strong fighting power. This guy is hiding his clumsiness. Or maybe it's because he didn't show his full strength before. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yun Zhong Mu Shui. Chapter 462. This. The whole Sky City was shaken. The waiting area was dead silent. Everyone looked at the projection, their eyes were shocked to the extreme. Dead. He died just like that? The masters of Daogu and Hanling galaxies went crazy instantly. No. This is impossible. Lanyet. Dozens of masters collapsed on the spot. And next to him, the Lord of Tianlong Mansion had a blank expression on his face. He looked into the distance. A woman was looking at him with a faint smile on her face, and there was a strong sense of pride in her eyes. This is the genius of our galaxy. In the secret realm, cheers have already erupted. Boss is awesome. Boss is invincible. 2 moves to kill, boss is too strong. Qiyun and Tongling were so dumbfounded that they shouted until their voices were hoarse. It's stable. It's absolutely stable. With this strength, holding onto the thigh, he will definitely advance to the second round. What is the boss? This is what a boss is. Facing so many eyes, Lu Yu flicked his sleeves, looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle, and sighed. The so-called genius is nothing more than a chicken and a dog, which can be destroyed with a flick of a finger. All around, dead silence. Chapter 0353 I am not worthy, evil capitalism. All around, there was a dead silence. Lu Yu's strength is beyond words. Killing Daoshin and Lanya with 2 moves is extremely terrifying. With this kind of strength, let alone the top 3, even the first place can be competed for. Changle was suddenly stunned and thought of what Lu Yu had said before. Lu Yu, didn't you say, there is only a 50% chance of winning, Changle said blankly. Seeing this, Lu Yu's eyebrows jumped. Maybe you misunderstood. What I said is, only use 50% of your strength. As soon as these words came out, the horror in Changle's beautiful eyes was beyond words. Using only 50% of your strength, you can easily kill Daoshin and Lanyet? How terrifying is Lu Yu's true strength? Beside them, Qiyun and Tongling were almost shouting, their voices hoarse. Boss is invincible. Suppress everything. With 50% of his strength, he can sweep the 2 of them. If the boss uses all his strength, the first place will be a snap of a finger. Qiyun and Tongling shouted, and the others couldn't help but shout. There is no way, it's too cruel. Regardless of whether Lu Yu's 50% strength is true or false, just 2 moves to kill Daoshin and Lanya is enough to be terrifying. In another direction, the geniuses of the galaxy led by Daoshin and Lanya have completely fallen into panic and chaos. The leader is dead, can these people still resist? Run. In an instant, countless people turned around and ran. Seeing this, Lu Yu waved his hand. It's still the old rules, leaving no one alive. After the voice fell, Lu Yu suddenly felt something was wrong and added another sentence. If they have anything valuable on them, loot them all. Yes, sir? 2. Qiun Tongling immediately took action, and chased after them with most of the people. How could these geniuses dare to resist? They didn't even have time to escape. In just a moment, blood flowed like a river. And Lu Yu didn't care about these anymore. Chang'e stood beside Lu Yu, looking at the tragic scene in front of him, feeling extremely relieved, even his eyes were red. Lu Yu, thank you for helping me get revenge. Yeah, Lu Yu nodded lightly. I don't believe it myself. I helped you so much, and you just said thank you. Lu Yu, if you are willing, I. Chang'e's face turned red with shame. What are you talking about? Speak quickly. I promised to nod. Lu Yu was still pretending to be a master, and he was expecting Chang'e to speak in his heart. It's not too much to help such a big favor and bleed a little. It's really not too much. Just when Lu Yu had begun to imagine a better life, Chang'e spoke up. Lu Yu, if you are willing, I can give you a gift I made myself. Lu Yu. That's it? Am I unworthy? Sure enough, between giving yourself to me and working like a slave, you chose the latter. Lu Yu was immediately struck by lightning, and his body began to shake. Chang'e saw this and looked worried. Lu Yu, are you okay? She spoke up and supported Lu Yu. Lu Yu slapped her hand away, his face gloomy. Daoshin can't hurt me, Lanya can't hurt me, even if the so-called first genius comes, he can't hurt me. But, your words deeply hurt me. Lu Yu's face became paler. Chang'e saw this and was instantly confused. What do you mean? It doesn't mean anything, it's just this meaning, everyone understands the meaning. Lu Yu waved his hand and made his words quite clear. Chang'e? Seeing the girl's confused expression, Lu Yu couldn't help but slap his head. Damn, I overestimated her IQ. Hee, I did you such a big favor, aren't you going to repay me? Lu Yu looked at Chang'e seriously. Chang'e nodded seriously after hearing this. Lu Yu, you are right, it is indeed my negligence. Yes. It is you who neglected it? Come on, I'm ready. Lu Yu was full of expectations. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu. Chapter 463. Chang'e looked at him. I can give you 200,000 star cores. Lu Yu. Do I look like the person who missed those 200,000 star cores? You are humiliating me. This damn, evil capitalism. 300,000 Lu Yu said sadly. 400,000 Chang'e said seriously when he heard this. 400,000? Increase the quantity without increasing the price? I. Come on, this is my interstellar bank card number. Lu Yu reported his card number with enthusiasm. Seeing this, Chang'e nodded. Well, thank you very much Lu Yu. It's okay. This is what I, Mr. Lu, should do. I have never been able to stand these things that bully men and dominate women. Lu Yu looked upright and solemn. Chang'e couldn't help but smile when he saw this. I didn't expect you to be so decent. Of course, I'm the kind of person who can't tolerate sand in my eyes. As he said that, Lu Yu looked at the people behind him. Do you think what I said is right? What the boss said is absolutely true. I, Tong Ling, also hate those things that bully men and dominate women. Lu Yu is simply great. Mingzi also joined the duo, shouting happily together. When Lu Yu saw this, his expression was quite satisfied. Changle, by the way, what are you going to do now? What to do? This is a very serious question. The elimination is not over yet, the situation is not yet clear, and no one knows who will die next. Hearing this, Changle hesitated for a moment. Lu Yu, can I come with you? Easy to say. Lu Yu nodded. Changle has not paid the blood price so far. I always feel guilty inside. Seeing Lu Yu agree, Chang Le also smiled happily. Just when Lu Yu was arranging his troops and preparing to move forward, suddenly, a voice sounded. The secret realm elimination is over and all contestants will return soon. Chapter 0354. The elimination of the secret realm is over, and it's the next day. The secret realm elimination is over and all contestants will return soon. Lu Yu was stunned when he heard this. Is this the end? It's a bit fast. He slapped his mouth, and the next moment, countless rays of light descended into the secret realm. A moment later, everyone who was still alive was taken out of the secret realm. City in the sky. Sky Plaza. The faces of all the geniuses who came back were relieved. It's over. The first round is over. According to the previous competition rules, out of 500 people, only 64 people could survive. But what makes many people confused is, this is more than 64 people. At a glance, there are at least hundreds of them. This secret realm elimination has ended early. The competition committee will internally vote to select the 64 people who will advance to the second round. Changed the rules? Everyone was a little shocked when they heard this. In this regard, the Galaxy Envoy did not explain anything. This order was so sudden that even he didn't react. It's just a guess, it's probably related to this guy. The Galaxy Envoy glanced at Lu Yu. Lu Yu also happened to be looking at him, and the two looked at each other. The Galaxy Envoy first withdrew his gaze, left a few words and left. You have half a day to rest. After half a day, the list for the second round of competition will be announced. This sentence can be said to make everyone feel uneasy. This elimination ends early, and the contest committee will vote to select the contestants who will advance to the second round. This makes most people feel unsure about whether they can obtain a qualification. Qiyun and Tong Ling are typical representatives among them. The two originally thought they could go directly to the second round, but what they didn't expect was that they were eliminated midway. How to do this? I can't even get mixed scores. Boss. The two looked at Lu Yu. There is nothing Lu Yu can do now. He could probably guess something. Alas, I still acted too fiercely, I should have known better to keep a low profile. They don't believe in themselves, and then they eliminate n number of geniuses at once. It was too late to end the game like that. But despite this, Lu Yu still didn't panic. It's just a matter of playing a few more rounds. Lu Yu was indifferent. It's okay. With your performance, you two can definitely be selected. Lu Yu comforted with a smile. Qiyun. Tong Ling. The two of us have been shouting 666 to you the whole time. How can we express ourselves? Choose to be a cheerleader? Mingzi felt aggrieved when she saw this. I feel like I might not be able to get in. Be confident and eliminate the possibility. Mingzi. Lu Yu, you are so annoying. Mingzi was annoyed. This guy didn't even think about how to comfort himself. Chang Le was beside him and couldn't help laughing. Lu Yu, girls don't like you like this. Yes. This guy deserves to be unloved. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Shui. Chapter 464. Mingzi was furious and went to stand in the same team with Chang'e. Around, the other surviving contestants saw the scene and looked a little confused. They knew Chang'e, but who was the person who was talking to Chang'e? Why didn't they seem to know him? After a while, someone quickly thought of something. Isn't this guy the one who offended Long Xing before? Long Xing? Where is Long Xing? As they said that, someone immediately began to try to find Long Xing's location. Unfortunately, nothing was found. Long Xing is gone, someone said in disbelief. In fact, it was true. There were only so many people, just over 100, and no one saw Long Xing at all. Dead. Everyone's eyes were shocked and looked at Lu Yu. Was he killed by this guy? It's unlikely, maybe he died at the hands of someone else. In the field, someone immediately counted the number of the top 10 geniuses who were still alive. But as they counted, they felt more and more that something was wrong. Of the top 10 geniuses, there are only 6 left so far. There are 4 more people who disappeared directly. The people from Daogu Galaxy and Hanling Galaxy, as well as Tianlong Galaxy and Tianyu Galaxy, have all disappeared. Someone spoke up, and this conclusion shocked everyone. It's not normal. How come 4 of the top 10 galaxies were eliminated in the first round? Everyone was uneasy. While Lu Yu was chatting with Chang Li, he observed the surroundings. The first round was over, and there was still a second round. The people he had met so far, such as Dao Tian, were not geniuses among the top 5. Lu Yu was still somewhat interested in the geniuses among the top 5. I don't know what their strength is. As he looked around, Lu Yu really found a few guys with particularly different auras. One was a young man wearing ordinary linen clothes, looking at Lu Yu indifferently. Lu Yu looked at him, smiled, and turned to look at another person. It was a woman with a black veil on her head. She couldn't see her face clearly, but her aura was obviously different from others. Lu Yu also saw the other 2 people. One was a burly man, and the other. Lu Yu looked around and suddenly found that he was right next to him. It was a young man holding an umbrella, looking at Lu Yu with a smile. "Hello, my name is Guy Yang." The young man holding the umbrella stretched out his hand to Lu Yu. Seeing this, Lu Yu also stretched out his hand with a smile on his face. "Hello." The moment the two shook hands, there was a collision of terrifying auras. Boom. Many people around were directly blown away by this aura. "You are very interesting." Guy Yang withdrew his hand, looked at Lu Yu with a smile, and turned away. Lu Yu looked at his back as he left, with a thoughtful expression. "What is the ranking of this guy?" Second Chang'e came over and said solemnly. "He is the current number 1 genius in the Xianming Galaxy, and his strength is terrifying." Yeah, Lu Yu nodded. This guy just had no good intentions, and suddenly took action to test himself. Of course, Lu Yu did not hold back. "This guy, your hand is a little painful now, right?" Lu Yu looked at Guy Yang's right hand dripping with blood, and a smile appeared on his face. The scene of the two shaking hands was seen by everyone, and some people were even shocked. At this moment, it can be said that it attracted a lot of horrified eyes. What kind of strength is this Lu Yu? He can actually fight against Guy Yang head-on. And it seems that Guy Yang seems to have suffered a little loss. Some people noticed the bloodstains left on the ground and were shocked. In the distance, the 3 people who were watching also had their pupils shrunken, and there was a vigilant look in their eyes. Guy Yang, ranked second only to Ling Fan who ranked first, how could he not attract attention? Some people cast their eyes faintly on the young man in hemp clothes. The young man in hemp clothes had no expression on his face, just staring at Lu Yu for a while, and then retracted his gaze. At this moment, outside, the strong men from many galaxies finally arrived. Chapter 0355 I need artificial respiration, Lord, listen to my excuse. Because the place where everyone appeared was not in the waiting area, but in the square of the Sky City. Therefore, it still takes some time for the strong men from many galaxies to arrive. At present, most people have arrived. Those who have arrived are basically the surviving geniuses of this galaxy. Those who have been eliminated are waiting in the waiting area. Lu Yu. The Lord saw Lu Yu in the crowd at a glance and immediately appeared beside him. Seeing the Lord, the expression on Lu Yu's face was obviously very happy. How about Lord, I didn't disappoint you. The performance is very good, it is beyond my expectations. The Lord of the Palace has a bright smile on his face, looking at Lu Yu with a look of relief. Just now outside, she has received the news that the elimination has ended early. If the reason for the early end has nothing to do with Lu Yu, she doesn't believe it. But even if it ends early, Lu Yu will definitely get a place in the second round. That's enough. With Lu Yu's strength, the Mansion Master is confident that he can enter the top 5. Mother, you don't care about me anymore. While the Mansion Master was busy asking Lu Yu, Mingzi next to him was unhappy. Seeing this, the Palace Master showed an apologetic smile. Sorry Mingzi, I was so happy just now. Humph, mother, let me tell you, Lu Yu is getting old. Mingzi complained. Chang Li watched from the side, and soon a beautiful woman appeared next to her. Fairy Palace Master. Master of the Galaxy Palace, long time no see. The beautiful woman arrived and smiled at the Palace Master. Seeing this, the Palace Master also nodded. It's been a long time indeed. Well, speaking of which, our Andromeda Galaxy has to thank you, the Milky Way, this time. After saying that, the beautiful woman looked at Lu Yu, her eyes full of surprise. The scene where Lu Yu violently killed Daoshan and Lanya attracted the attention of many people. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu Shui. Chapter 465. It is really shocking to have such strength. After all, to put it bluntly, the Milky Way is not ranked high in the entire local galaxy group. Chang'e bowed slightly to Lu Yu again. Lu Yu, thank you very much. It's a small matter. We are all neighbors. I just help you, Lu Yu said. This made several people laugh. From the perspective of the local galaxy group, the Andromeda Galaxy and the Milky Way are really neighbors. In the distance, many strong people have already cast their eyes in the direction of Lu Yu, with changing expressions. Seeing this, the genius of their galaxy couldn't help but ask Lu Yu about his situation in the secret realm. After all, the secret realm does not communicate with each other. But when they learned the truth, they were all shocked and could hardly react. This guy killed Long Xing, and also killed Daoshan and Lanya in 2 moves. Master, this is impossible. Damn, is his strength really that strong? Hundreds of geniuses, except for the 30 people who followed Lu Yu, the other dozens of people were shocked and couldn't extricate themselves when they heard the news. If this wasn't said by the master of the house or the elders themselves, I'm afraid they would slap him. This is no longer a fantasy. I wouldn't dare to do this in my dreams. Not to mention Long Xing, Daoshan, and Lanya joined forces, that's the absolute top combat power. Lu Yu killed them all with just 2 moves. It's creepy. They couldn't believe it, but they thought of the brief fight between Lu Yu and Gai Yang before. Gai Yang, who ranked 2nd, was injured. Everyone looked at Lu Yu. Lu Yu was stared at by so many eyes, but his expression was still indifferent. Following the master of the house, Lu Yu walked out of the square. Qiun Tongling greeted Lu Yu. Boss, if we have a chance to enter the second round, continue to protect us, they shouted regardless of the changing expressions of their own strong men. There is no way, The feeling of getting mixed points is really cool. In response, Lu Yu waved his hand. No problem. Walking outside, Lu Yu attracted a new round of attention. Many strong men in the entire Sky City have already gathered outside the square. Seeing Lu Yu walk out, everyone looked over. This boy is indeed extraordinary. The breath is restrained, and it is difficult to detect the depth. I dare to assert that he definitely has the strength to enter the top 3. Just from this appearance, he is a dragon among men. A large group of strong men pointed at Lu Yu. In response, Lu Yu's mouth twitched. Damn, why didn't anyone notice me at the beginning? Now it starts again? I laughed. Lu Yu followed the lord of the palace and went directly back to the waiting area. And at this moment, Sky City, the most central location. An ancient palace stands here. It has existed for too long, so long that even the walls made of star cores have cracked, and the meteorite crystals inlaid as decorations have become dim. In such an ancient palace, 3 figures are sitting in different positions. The faces of the 3 figures are all blurred, and the power of the law blurs everything, even their voices are extremely mysterious. Have you seen the seedlings? One of the figures covered in white light spoke, and the space around him seemed to be buzzing. Not yet. Another person responded. The figure sitting in the first place spoke last. Who do you think can win among these people? Hearing this, one person pointed to one of the many pictures. It was the projection where Lu Yu was. In the picture, Lu Yu was pinching Mingzi's face nonchalantly. This boy is good, he has the strength to enter the top 3, but he seems a little mediocre at the moment, not as good as Ling Fan. No, he is very special, the first person suddenly said. The other 2 people were confused. Domain Lord, what do you mean? Well, maybe he has a chance to beat that person, otherwise our galaxy group will lose the opportunity to go to the Great Wall this time. Domain Lord, where is Ling Fan? The person who spoke first cast his eyes on one of the pictures. But the person sitting in the first place shook his head. No, although Ling Fan has accepted the blood inheritance, he is still not strong enough. This. The 2 people were a little surprised when they heard this. This Lu Yu, why is he praised so much by the Domain Master? Is there really something special about him? Domain Lord, do you mean to adjust the arrangement? Another person said. The figure called the Domain Master shook his head. No need to adjust, he will prove it to us. Okay, Domain Master, we know. As the voice fell, the entire ancient palace twisted and finally disappeared, as if it had never appeared. In the waiting area, Lu Yu had just returned. Good fellow. Lu Kid, you really didn't disappoint me. Elder Son came forward first and patted Lu Yu's shoulder with excitement. Elder Zhang also patted Lu Yu's other shoulder. The 2 seemed to be competing with each other, and the louder they patted, the stronger they became. Lu Yu was silent for a long time and tried to walk away, but every time the 2 people's hands just happened to grab his shoulders. Good fellow. Are you kidding me? Lu Yu saw it and laughed. Without stopping, he slowly lay down on the ground. Master, I feel like I have suffered serious internal injuries. As he said that, Lu Yu's face turned pale and his breathing was staccato. The master of the palace had not worried about things here at first, but when he saw it, he immediately became angry. What are you 2 doing? If something happens to Lu Yu, you 2 go up and fight. Elder Son? Elder Zhang? Good boy, are you blackmailing us too? The 2 immediately became angry and wanted to refute, but the palace master slapped each of them. The 2 immediately flew directly to the backyard. Lu Yu, are you okay? Were you injured a long time ago? The palace master hugged Lu Yu worriedly and checked the injury. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yoon Jeon-mu Shwe. Chapter 466. Not hurt? The palace master was stunned. Lu Yu felt the soft embrace and his face became paler. Sorry master, I feel like I can't breathe. I need artificial respiration. As he spoke, Lu Yu's eyes slowly closed. Can't breathe? The palace master became more and more anxious after hearing this. But no matter how she tried, the result was that Lu Yu was not injured. There shouldn't be any injuries that I can't feel. The palace master's expression became more and more anxious when he saw Lu Yu's gradually stopping breathing and closing his eyes. No. Lu Yu is the hope of our galaxy this time, we can't let anything happen to him. Just when the governor was about to lower his head, Mingzi suddenly ran over. Lu Yu, what are you doing? Ming 11 looked at Lu Yu lying in her mother's arms with doubts in her eyes. Mingzi, you just happened to be here. Lu Yu can't breathe. Please give him artificial respiration. When the palace master saw Ming 11, he thought about it and decided to say so. It's just right to bring Ming 11 and Lu Yu together. Lu Yu can't breathe. Mingzi looked at Lu Yu with a puzzled look. Lu Yu was trying hard to pretend to be dead at the moment. Hearing these words, he almost didn't open his eyes on the spot. Depend on. Destroy my good deeds. Just thinking of Mingzi, it doesn't seem impossible? Well, I can do that. Lying in the palace master's arms with her eyes closed, Lu Yu quietly waited for a fragrant kiss. After Mingzi heard her mother's words, a meaningful smile appeared on her face. Injuried. Will this guy get hurt? Fraud. Big liar. It turns out that Lu Yu is injured. I'll go find Kiun and Tongling and ask them to take turns giving artificial respiration to Lu Yu. It will definitely be fine. With that said, Mingzi turned around and left. When Lu Yu heard this, he was immediately stunned. A picture appeared in his mind. The bearded Kiun lowered his head affectionately. Not good. Where is this? What happened to me? Did I faint just now? Lu Yu suddenly opened his eyes with a confused expression on his face. Palace Master, oh. Oh. Mingzi, oh. Oh. Lu Yu, you. The master of the palace reacted quickly and looked at Lu Yu, his pretty face flushed. Lu Yu looked at Ming 11's treacherous smile next to him, and his eyelids twitched in an instant. Palace Master, please listen to my quibbles. Chapter 0356 Things You Love to Do, Things You Shouldn't See. Palace Master, listen to my quibbles. Lu Yu looked at the two of them with an awkward yet polite smile on his face. I understand. I must have been too tired just now, so I fainted. Well, I need a good rest now. With that said, Lu Yu got up and was about to leave. Even if the palace master reacted slowly, he still noticed something unusual. Stop. I run. Lu Yu wanted to run away in an instant, but the master of the palace had a low eye. How could Lu Yu be able to escape? Master, listen to me, I was really dizzy just now. Lu Yu turned his head and looked at the palace master with a tearless look on his face. The palace master frowned slightly when he heard this. This kid, actually wants to take advantage of me. The master of the palace was angry. Mingzi smiled. Lu Yu, I have long seen that you have evil intentions. Mother, why don't we castrate him? Lu Yu. My conscience. I really just fainted just now. Unexpectedly, Lu Yu, shed blood and tears for the Milky Way, but in exchange for this kind of treatment. Lu Yu howled instantly. The next moment, many elders appeared around him in confusion. Not only people from this galaxy, but also people from other galaxies have looked over. The Milky Way, what's going on? Being looked at by so many eyes, the palace master couldn't keep his face off. Huh, I'll settle the score with you alone when I get back. She disappeared here instantly. What just made Lu Yu confused was, why did I see a hint of shyness in the palace master's eyes? Taking a deep breath to collect his thoughts, Lu Yu looked at the others, turned around and left. What are you looking at? Have you never seen such a handsome man? Everyone? What are you doing? All the elders left disappointed. Behind Lu Yu, Mingzi followed closely. Lu Yu, the competition will start in the afternoon, are you nervous? I don't know if you're nervous or not, I just know that I really want to hang you up and beat you right now. Why fight? Can't you do anything else? Mingzi blinked and licked her lips. Lu Yu rolled his Adam's apple in frustration and looked around. Do what? Do what everyone loves to do. Well said, let's start now. Yeah, let me find a place where I can hang myself up first. An hour later. Lu Yu stared blankly at Ming 11 who was hanging himself on the big tree, gritting his teeth and clenching his fists silently. Is this what you love to do? Lu Yu, come and play. Mingzi swayed her figure and reached out to Lu Yu happily. After a moment of silence, Lu Yu walked over. The two of them were stuck together tightly, hanging on a rope, dangling back and forth. Every time it shakes, Mingzi will let out a burst of happy laughter. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu Shui. Chapter 467. Gradually, Lu Yu also got involved. This kind of exercise mainly requires two people to stick together tightly and exert force at the same time. So, it is still quite happy. When Lu Yu and Mingzi were playing happily, Changle appeared outside. Hello, I want to find Lu Yu. Changle looked at Elder Zhang who was sitting at the door. Elder Zhang looked Changle up and down, and took out the photo to compare. Fairy Changle, you are more beautiful in person than in the photo. Elder, you are too kind. You must have been a genius of your generation back then. I won't feel sleepy when you talk about this. Come, let me tell you about my youth. After a long time, Elder Zhang drank a sip of water. After talking about kindergarten, let me talk about elementary school. I was in the first grade of elementary school at that time. Once a tiger appeared on the road, and I just slid. Elder, I feel it's very late now. Finally, Changle came in. Following the direction pointed by Elder Zhang, she came to a backyard. As soon as she walked in here, her eyes became confused. Why, some strange sounds. Changle listened attentively, and her face turned red in an instant. This. I must have made a mistake. Changle stepped forward and soon found the place where Lu Yu and Mingzi were. Lu Yu and Mingzi hugged each other tightly, and faintly, some unspeakable sounds came out. Ah, don't, it hurts. Be gentle, please Lu Yu. Changle, oh. Oh. She was stunned for a long time, and instantly retreated behind the tree, breathing slightly faster. What did I just see? Changle couldn't help but appear in the picture just now in her mind. Impossible. Lu Yu should not be this kind of person. Changle frowned slightly, and soon thought it through. I must have thought too much. With a slight smile, Changle looked back again. At this moment, she was completely dumbfounded. I saw Lu Yu had taken off his shirt and hugged Mingzi with his bare arms. Mingzi fell into Lu Yu's arms, unexpectedly. Changle couldn't bear to watch it anymore. I came at the wrong time, I'll come back later. After seeing something he shouldn't have seen, Changle turned around and left. At the door, Elder Zhang was still savoring his life. When he saw Changle coming out, he immediately laughed. Come on, let me tell you about my second grade in elementary school. No need, Elder, I'll come next time. Changle rushed out quickly, his face flushed with shame. This made Elder Zhang stunned. Lu Yu is so fast. Backyard. Lu Yu hugged Mingzi, his expression helpless. You fell too hard this time. Lu Yu glanced at Mingzi's bleeding knee and bandaged it temporarily with his own clothes. Well, it hurts so much, this rope is of poor quality. Mingzi looked bitter. Seeing this, Lu Yu had no choice but to carry Mingzi out. He was tired after playing for so long. Elder Zhang was instantly furious when he saw this scene. Good guy. Threesome. Isn't it a threesome? One Mingzi and one Chang'e. It's not weaker than what I did in the past, but it's a pity that you're too fast, Elder Zhang said proudly. Lu Yu. Without much explanation, Lu Yu sent Mingzi to the mansion master. The mansion master should be able to cure her. After settling Mingzi, Lu Yu returned to Elder Zhang. He didn't understand what Elder Zhang meant before. What's the matter, you kid came back to me to learn from me again. I tell you, if a man wants to last a long time, he must pay attention to the following 3 points. Lu Yu. Elder Zhang, what are you kidding, I'll do it once a night. Lu Yu was disdainful. Elder Zhang laughed immediately when he heard this. Are you kidding me? One night, Chang'e just went in and came out in less than a minute. What do you say? Chang'e is here? Lu Yu was stunned when he heard this. See, I have exposed you. There is nothing shameful about this kind of thing. You are brave enough to say it out and I will help you solve it. Elder Zhang said with a smile. Lu Yu. Elder Zhang, I have a good way to prove it. What method? Let your granddaughter try it and you will know. You kid, kill me. Elder Zhang was furious. Lu Yu ran away in a hurry and headed towards the Andromeda Galaxy. Why did Chang'e come to me? Isn't she asking for protection again? Lu Yu thought. In the Andromeda Galaxy waiting area, Chang'e, who had just returned, was still in shock. Chapter 0357 What did you see? The disappearing galaxy. This is too scary. Chang'e was uneasy, and kept thinking about the scene he had seen before. At this moment, a voice sounded outside. Chang'e, are you there? Lu Yu stood outside the door. Next to him was a fairy-like strongman. Apart from anything else, the entire fairy-like strongman's favorability towards Lu Yu was maxed out. At this moment, this fairy-like strongman kept looking Lu Yu up and down. The more he looked, the more satisfied he was. Inside the room, Chang'e was hesitating. Should I open the door? What should I do? It's so embarrassing. Could he know that I saw it? Oh my god. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu Shui. Chapter 468. Chang'e was extremely troubled, and finally opened the door. Come in, come in. Lu Yu didn't care much when he saw Chang'e being so nervous. The second round of competition is about to begin, and it is normal to be nervous. In the room, Lu Yu looked around and sat down on the chair. Chang'e, why did you come to see me before? Lu Yu asked. When Chang'e heard this, he became extremely nervous. I didn't see anything, really, you believe me, Lu Yu? Lu Yu. What did you see? Lu Yu probed. I didn't see anything. Chang'e immediately shook his head and couldn't help but lean back. Seeing this, Lu Yu leaned forward. What did you see? I didn't see anything. Back, lean forward. What did you see? I didn't see anything. Back, lean forward. What did you see? Chang'e looked at Lu Yu, who was almost parallel to the ground and pressed against him, completely leaning on the ground. Lu Yu, don't do anything. Can't do it, Lu Yu was stunned. Okay, I'll move my feet. In an instant, Lu Yu returned to his normal standing posture. Chang'e breathed a sigh of relief when he saw this. Lu Yu, you haven't answered my question yet. Lu Yu looked at Chang'e. Seeing this, Chang'e started talking intermittently. Lu Yu, I really didn't see it. So what exactly did you see? Lu Yu was about to vomit blood. Can't this girl say it directly if she has something to say? I saw you and Mingzi doing something. Chang Le bit her red lips tightly. When Lu Yu heard this, he was immediately stunned. Did you see all this? I really didn't mean it. Chang'e shrank into a ball. Seeing this, Lu Yu was silent for a moment. To be honest, it's actually quite fun. Do you want to play together? Lu Yu extended an invitation to Chang'e. If nothing else, the feeling of being hung up and dangling is really nice. When Chang'e heard this, he shook his head subconsciously. It hurts if I don't play. Okay, if you are inexperienced in playing for the first time, it may actually hurt, Lu Yu said. Even someone like Mingzi who plays a lot has fallen, Chang'e will definitely fall too. Hearing this, Chang'e became more convinced of a fact. These two people must have done something. Lu Yu admitted it. Forgot to get down to business. What did you ask me for earlier? Lu Yu said. Seeing this, Chang Le breathed a sigh of relief. I just want to ask you, are you ready to enter the second round? Chang Le said. It is certain that Lu Yu will advance to the second round. I also have a chance to enter, and I am about to ask him what he plans to do. Hearing Chang Le's words, Lu Yu fell into deep thought. Not ready. Chang'e was a little surprised. I was not prepared for what kind of gesture I would use to deliver my acceptance speech. Lu Yu looked thoughtful. This is indeed a question worth thinking about. Chang'e's eyelids twitched when he saw this. Lu Yu, it's not easy to get the first place this time. That mysterious genius is very strong. Well, you also know, Lu Yu looked surprised. Chang'e nodded. You know, it seems that he can directly enter the quarterfinals, but Mother and the others haven't revealed any more information. They just said that Ling Fan is probably not his opponent. Lu Yu's expression became interesting. If this is said, then this mysterious genius will indeed be very strong. Ling Fan was the young man wearing linen that he had seen before. Although it looked ordinary, in fact, Lu Yu could feel the terrifying aura contained within his body. It is definitely not comparable to Gai Yang, who is ranked second. Not on the same level. And if he can't defeat him, then Lu Yu will be a little interested. How powerful is this mysterious genius? Everyone's realm is limited to the 9th level of Tongxian. How powerful can he be in this realm? By the way, Chang'e, do you know what's going on in that extinct galaxy? Chang'e hesitated. Seeing this, Lu Yu couldn't help but sigh. Why do all of them seem so afraid to say anything? Seeing Lu Yu's helpless expression, Chang Le thought for a while and finally spoke. The Death Galaxy is actually not called the Death Galaxy, but the Tianwu system. I just heard from my clan leader and the others that that galaxy suddenly disappeared tens of thousands of years ago. Disappeared? Lu Yu was shocked. Chang'e nodded. Yes, it disappeared. It disappeared directly from the star map. Later, this galaxy group sent people to search, and there was nothing in that star field. The entire galaxy seemed to have evaporated out of thin air. Speaking of this, Chang'e himself looked shocked. This is too weird. What disappears is not a person or a planet, but an entire galaxy. Hundreds of billions of stars, trillions of planets, and countless living beings disappeared out of thin air. It's absolutely terrifying. The local galaxy group didn't give any explanation for this incident, and just blocked the information. Originally, with the succession of life, the whole thing was almost regarded as non-existent. There are only 50 galaxies in this galaxy group. Later, some time ago, this galaxy that suddenly disappeared reappeared. As soon as it appeared, this galaxy group noticed it and sent people to search for it. The conclusion was that there was no life. Everything was preserved when it disappeared tens of thousands of years ago. But some time ago, a genius appeared. I don't need to tell you what happened next. You should know it. Chang'e looked at Lu Yu with a pale face. This kind of thing, just listening to it, makes people shudder. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Yun Zhonmu Shui. Chapter 469. A galaxy disappeared for tens of thousands of years and then reappeared. When it appeared, there were obviously no signs of life, but there were still living things walking out of it. Simply terrible. Lu Yu himself frowned. If it is true as Chang Le said, this matter, it is really weird. A galaxy disappeared and then reappeared. Lu Yu didn't know why, but he thought of some news reports he had heard before traveling. What kind of ghost ship travels through time and space? But this is even more outrageous. An entire galaxy has simply disappeared. There must be something wrong with it. Lu Yu frowned. He became more and more curious about what kind of mysterious genius he was and what his strength was. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded. There is still 1 hour left before the second round of competition begins, and the list of contestants is announced. Chapter 0358 A Little Blood, I'm so excited. There is still 1 hour left before the second round of competition begins, and the list of contestants is announced. The moment the sound sounded, Lu Yu and Chang Le looked at the sky at the same time. I saw a curtain of light appearing in the sky at some point. On this light curtain, there are countless names written. Ling Fan, Gai Yang, Tuo Yi. Lu Yu soon saw his name in the 5th position. Damn it! Do you look down on me so much? Lu Yu expressed his sudden displeasure. This is obviously a ranking based on overall strength, and you are ranked 5th? Who are you looking down on? Lu Yu jumped, but realized a problem. Among these names, it seems that the name of the mysterious genius is not seen. All the names are basically the names of surviving geniuses. Next to it, Chang'e found his name. I'm in 11th. Chang'e breathed a sigh of relief. If I look at my previous performance, I actually have no idea whether I can advance to the second round. But fortunately, I found my name on the list. Chang'e, I still haven't seen the name of that mysterious genius, Lu Yu said. Chang'e was puzzled when he saw this. He should go directly to the quarterfinals, maybe not make the list here. Yes, Lu Yu also remembered what the palace master had said to him before, and nodded. There's only 1 hour left. How are you doing now? Very good, Chang'e affirmed. How good is it? Very good. Let's have a close fight. You. Chang'e understood something instantly and his pretty face turned red. Well, it seems you still don't want to become stronger. Lu Yu curled his lips and went back. As soon as he rushed back to his own galaxy territory, Lu Yu saw Qi Yun and Tong Ling waiting outside. Boss, we are also shortlisted. The two of them looked at Lu Yu with excited expressions, as if they were seeing their reborn parents. This is like being forced into the second round. Even if you are eliminated at the beginning, you can still get a lot of rewards. Lu Yu was quite satisfied with the performance of the two of them. Easy to say, the membership fee cannot be less. Don't worry, boss. I've already told our palace master, and he said he'll double it for you. Our palace master said the same thing, Tong Ling said not to be outdone. When Lu Yu heard this, his expression was very satisfied. That's right. If you have a chance after entering, you should admit defeat if you encounter me. I won't hurt you. Okay, thank you, boss. The two of them had a smile on their faces. If someone asks them to admit defeat, they will definitely call them stupid. But Lu Yu is different. If the two of them didn't admit defeat, they would just walk up and lie down on the urn and go back. While Lu Yu was chatting with the two of them, Ming 11, Bai Mo and others also came out. Lu Yu, none of us are on the list. Ming 11 had a bitter expression on her face. In fact, she was already prepared in her heart. When the elimination was terminated, there were still more than 100 people participating, if the scores were based on normal performance. They definitely have no points. After all, following Lu Yu all the time. At most, they only picked up 2 heads. What are you in a hurry for? It's all for nothing if you go up there. You're giving it for free. Mingzi was unhappy. Bai Mo watched silently from the side, feeling, not at all uncomfortable. I don't feel bad, I don't feel bad. He can enter and I can't, and I don't feel uncomfortable at all. Bai Mo silently hypnotized himself in his heart. People can't compare with each other. If you compete with this pervert every day, sooner or later you will drive yourself to death. After all, there's nothing you can do about him. Lu Yu, how are you doing? At this moment, the palace master suddenly appeared. Lu Yu said, the condition is quite good. Very good, come on, if you make it into the top 5, the government will prepare a special reward for you. The master of the palace personally cheered Lu Yu on. Lu Yu suddenly said after hearing this. Then if I get first place, will you give me a personal reward, palace master? Can. I want a designated reward. Within my ability, I will definitely satisfy you. The palace master nodded seriously. To win the grand prize of first place in the entire local galaxy group competition, among other things, I will definitely do my best to satisfy Lu Yu. When Lu Yu heard this, his blood boiled instantly. Don't worry, Lord. Even for your reward, I, Lu Yu, will definitely win first place. Are you kidding? This means I have to win first place? Do my best to satisfy myself. Lord, don't worry, I will never let you spend too much money. Just a little bit will be fine. Lu Yu's mood was instantly happy. Time passed again, and soon there were only 15 minutes left before the competition began. Boom! There was a loud bang, and suddenly a huge floating arena appeared on the entire Sky City. The entire arena was made of black star rock, and it seemed to be suspended in the sky. The area was as large as 1/3 of the Sky City. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu Shui. Chapter 470. Martial Arts Arena. The entire martial arts arena can accommodate 64 people, that is, 32 groups fighting at the same time. The Sky Arena is open, and the list of the first round of the second round will be announced in 10 minutes. A grand voice sounded instantly. At this moment, countless people flew out of the entire Sky City and headed for the arena above the sky. Millions of Sky City strongmen stood outside the arena to watch all the fighters. Moreover, the entire competition process will be broadcast live to the entire 50 galaxies of the local galaxy group. The number of spectators will reach a terrifying number. Everyone is curious, after 1,000 years, who will win the first place in this galaxy group competition. Looking at the boiling Sky City and Sky Arena, Lu Yu would be lying if he said he was not excited. People from 50 galaxies are online at the same time. This time, the charm of this genius will be completely spread throughout the galaxy group. This is an extremely important step in my journey to spread my personal charm. Lu Yu, calm down, don't be too nervous. The Mansion Master looked at Lu Yu. Mansion Master, I'm not nervous at all, I'm just excited. As he said this, Lu Yu pinched his thigh meat desperately. Calm down, damn, I'm too excited, I can't feel the pain. Because you pinched my leg. Beside him, Bai Mo spoke expressionlessly. Lu Yu. He glanced at Bai Mo's swollen legs, his eyes full of apology. Sorry, I'm too excited. Well, so can you let go of your feet? Hearing this, Lu Yu looked at the ground again. Just now, he was so excited that he couldn't help jumping. Just stepped on Bai Mo's feet. Lu Yu. Bai Mo. Everyone. The list of contestants is being announced. The first round of the second round is divided into 32 groups, and the contest will be held on 32 separate stages at the same time. During the contest, contestants are not allowed to leave the contest area midway, otherwise it will be deemed as abandoning the contest. During the contest, life and death are at your own risk. The list will be announced below. The next moment, the light curtain appeared in the sky again. Lu Yu took a casual look and found his position. Chapter 0359, Opponent Guy Yang, the contest begins. Stage number 3, Lu Yu v Guy Yang. When Lu Yu saw his opponent, his expression was a little surprised. I ran into Guy Yang in my first round. It's a bit interesting. Beside Lu Yu, the others were also surprised. Lu Yu, your opponent in the first round is very difficult. The mansion lord frowned slightly. He didn't expect to run into Guy Yang, who ranked second, in the first round. This is a bad start. Lu Yu didn't care much about this. Master, don't worry. For your reward, even if I die in the ring, I must win the first place for our Milky Way. Lu Yu's face was firm. The master smiled brightly when he heard this. Okay, but safety comes first. You can go up. Yes. Lu Yu nodded and flew towards the sky ring. At this moment, it was less than 5 minutes before the competition started, and almost all the contestants were heading out to the sky. After Lu Yu flew to the sky ring, he quickly found his own ring. Ring number 3, there was a clear array division on the ground, and there was a referee wearing a referee uniform. Hello, I am the referee of ring no 3. Hello, referee. Lu Yu nodded, looked around, and asked. Referee, if the opponent admits defeat, I still beat him to death, is there a problem? This, no problem. The referee hesitated and shook his head. The rules of the ring competition are very special. Even if one party surrenders, the other party must agree to leave. At this moment, Guy Yang just came up. The moment he heard this, he raised his eyebrows. Lu Yu. Ahahaha, hello. Lu Yu smiled at Guy Yang. Seeing this, Guy Yang also smiled kindly. See you again. Yes, I missed you so much after I said goodbye to brother Guy last time. As the two chatted, they actually started to put their arms around each other's shoulders, giving outsiders the feeling that they were just like a pair of brothers. The referee next to him was a little surprised to see this scene. These two people obviously have a good relationship. Why did Lu Yu just ask such a question? On the surrounding arena, many geniuses have basically arrived at the arena. The entire empty arena did not seem crowded because of dozens of geniuses. Even each sub-arena has a diameter of several thousand meters, which can be said to leave enough space for fighting. Outside, many spectators were already ready. The entire Sky City, with nearly tens of millions of people, was now distributed around the sky, looking at the field. From their perspective, they were still a long way away from the geniuses on the arena. However, those who can stay in the Sky City for a long time are the strongest among the strong, and their vision is naturally not simple, and they can see everything clearly. At this moment, almost half of the eyes of the arena are looking at Lu Yu and Guy Yang. What are these two doing? Others are confronting each other in secret before the game has even started. Why are these two still chatting? Hey, brother Guy, it's really a pity that we met too late. It's a pity that we met too late. Brother Lu, I think so too. My life before was so dull and boring. You are like a ray of light shining into my life. Brother Guy, you are too polite. You are. You are. Both of them put their hands on each other. They seem to be close, but they have been competing secretly for a long time. At this moment, the power of the star source is constantly fluctuating. The referee looked at the scene with a slightly dark face. The competition is about to begin. If you two want to fight, I will let you fight to the death. The referee was angry. I just thought that these two people had some relationship. They fought under my nose. Does he take me seriously? As soon as the referee scolded, Lu Yu smiled and let go. Just now, he didn't use all his strength. He was just teasing Guy Yang. This guy is also interesting. He said one thing in front of him and another behind his back. He is more familiar with it than himself. Brother Guy, please be courteous in the competition later. Brother Lu, you are too polite. I am the one who should be courted. Brother Guy, you are too polite. Brother Lu, you are too polite. As they said this, the two of them were about to get together again.